Hello, History Through Film. Welcome to the Unit 2 Summative Directions for Women in U.S. History. So since this is an online class, instead of making a poster, you're going to make an infographic. An infographic is a visual representation of information that a person can read quickly and clearly. It also uses designs, colors, and photos or drawings that help get the message across to the viewer. Here are some examples of some real-life infographics. If you're really unsure what an infographic is, for this infographic, you are going to choose one woman who is historically significant in the history of the United States. You are going to give me a brief summary of that woman, a brief summary of A League of Their Own, a brief summary of Hidden Figures, and then two connections from the movies to your historical women that you chose. Okay? So again, your woman that you choose has to be significant to the history of the United States. Now, in the past, I have had people do like Joan of Arc or what was another one? Like some really old Middle Ages women. Well, those aren't going to be related to the United States, and that's some points that get deducted right away. So please make sure that the woman you choose has to do with the history of the United States, okay? Okay, so again, step one, you're going to choose a historical woman. Here are the requirements for your historical woman. The historical woman cannot be one of the historical figures we talked about in class or in the two movies we watched. The historical woman must be someone who has had an impact in the United States. She doesn't have to be a U.S. citizen, but she needs to have a connection to the U.S. somehow. The woman you choose can be dead or alive. And if you're struggling to think of a historical women, think of women who are actors, athletes, politicians, activists, celebrities, authors, and more. Or you can simply ask me. I'm more than happy to help you out. All right, step number 2. Once you have thought of a historical woman you'd like to research, you're going to click on this document. This document will have a list of all your names. You must type the name of your historical woman next to your name. If your historical woman is already claimed by another student, you must choose another historical woman. So let's take a look at that document real quick. So here's that document. You will see that here's a giant list of all your names. I have already done my example. I did Clara Barton as my example. So no, you can't do her. So once you have chosen your historical woman that you want, you're going to write it next to your name. So Emma, let's pretend that you did, I don't know, you wanted to do Taylor Swift. So if you did Taylor Swift, write Taylor Swift next to your name. Okay? Pretty simple. All right, step 3, you're going to create your infographic. I suggest using Canva. You can also use other infographic makers, but honestly, Canva is the easiest. Step 4, the following is a list of requirements that needs to be on your infographic about your historical woman. So you need the name of your historical woman, one picture of your historical woman, and 3 bullet points explaining the significance of your historical woman to the U.S. history. And if you're unsure what to write about your historical woman, here are some helpful questions that I made up too. Step 5, the following is a list of requirements that need to be on your infographic about A League of Their Own. So you need 2 bullet points explaining the history of the All-American Girls Professional Baseball League, 3 bullet points explaining the plot line of A League of Their Own, and 1 picture pertaining to A League of Their Own or the AAGPBL. Step 6, the following is a list of requirements that need to be on your infographic about Hidden Figures. You need 2 bullet points explaining the history of Jim Crow / redlining / segregation in the U.S., 3 bullet points explaining the plot line of Hidden Figures, and 1 picture pertaining to Hidden Figures. Step 7, you're going to make connections between your historical woman and the movies. Answer both of these questions on your infographic in at least 1 complete sentence. So how does the movie A League of Their Own connect to your historical woman? And how does the movie Hidden Figures connect to your historical woman? Okay, so you just need to make those connections. And if you're having trouble trying to connect your historical woman to the movies, here's another list of questions that I have that might be helpful, might not be, might be though. It's a good place to start, just in case you don't know where to start. And then step 8, of course, is to proofread your infographic. Then you're going to share the infographic link with me. Here's my email address by submitting it to the Unit 2 Summative link Dropbox. So make sure you do give your infographic, make it on your ISD 728 account, and make sure I get editing access to that as well. So many students forget to give me access to their infographics. So they'll like submit the link and then it's like, oh, you can't see it. You don't have access. Oh, it's so frustrating. So make sure that I have access to your infographic. Here's the link to the rubric, by the way, if you're curious. Here's also a link to one of my examples that I made. I just did blah, blah for some of my answers, so y'all just want to copy and paste what I did. But if you're a visual learner like I am, that might be cool to go check out. And then some tips from me. So if you're forgetting information, you can go back and relook at all the assignments for this unit in Schoology. The pink resource folder on the Schoology page, it's on the bottom of our Unit 2 folder, has all my slideshows in it, as well as links to some of the videos we watched. If you're new to Canva infographic making, you can check out this cool tutorial. If you need help picking out a historical woman, please let me know. If you need help making connections between the historical women and the movies, just ask me. I am here to help you. If you need help with any aspect of the project, just let me know. Please, 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 please. I am here to help you. Also, the use of outside resources for information, excluding pictures and information about your historical woman, will result in points deducted from your project, if not a permanent 0. Outside resources would include looking on the internet or using AI for information about this unit that we did not use in class. For example, you cannot just Google or AI and ask, give me 3 bullet point summary of hidden figures, and copy and paste the first result that comes up. I will be very picky on your answers to the prompt above by having you use information only from the lessons from this unit. So I'll be super duper picky. And then the due date will be November 30th at midnight. If you have any questions, please let me know. I'm here to help you. Also, I hope you have a great Thanksgiving break. All right, thanks for watching. Bye.